sorry. Oh,
Hello.
my video. Hang on.
Yes, I do like the whole seeing your lovely face there, darling. Otherwise, we'd be making
Just not
phone
like
calls.
sexy lady.
Hmm?
You don't just like my name.
I love your
Hey.
name. But there you are. Look at you. You look like you're all dressed up for the cold. Is it cold in Melbourne?
It's winter.
It's winter up here too.
I know. I was in Mackay on the weekend and it was way better.
Yeah.
So
It's the humidity is throwing me off at the moment because like you literally melt. Yeah, no, fuck. Yep, I see.
tomorrow 14, Thursday 13. Ugh, okay.
Our high is 26 today.
Jerk.
Literally just finished watching last therapy session. Truly, well, obviously, you know, I film all of this stuff. And as you also obviously know.
I like that you do review them and get.
Oh, 100%.
You talk about getting something out of it.
Oh, I do every time, which is why I was going to say, usually my therapy sessions are the videos that I watch back almost immediately. Has something got your eye? Who's in the ground? Yeah.
My light fixture is swinging because of.
Oh, it's just made me think of something. I talk about the grey matter people, right? Like when I started learning about grey matter, and there's a follower, huh?
It's the aircon swinging.
Yeah, well that makes sense. I've had a couple of it's been a fucking weird week. Let's put it that way. All right.
One of those
And
things at home, it's got crystals on it, and they're making like little tink 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 noises. And it's just
I do
There
love
you
you.
go, yeah.
I cannot wait to see you in person, eh?
I'm not excited. Soon.
Yeah, so like I put every single video that I film up online before watching it. It's who I am, what I do, and what I'm always going to do with this channel, right? That's the whole point of it, which I have to constantly remind myself after I've had a week of losing my mind and making myself look crazy to the public. But that's okay, because the good and the bad, and that's the point of the channel, right? Because all of us feel crazy at some point or another. Though I've been hearing you in my head a lot lately. I said this to friggin' Merv yesterday. I was like, she does talk a lot in my head. I can hear her. You know, you, obviously.
That's the whole point. It is important, though, that if you ever have a situation that you don't need to put all of, but you don't need to put all of your things online. I know.
Well, I don't. It's like with the house thing. I didn't say a word about the process we went through until the end of it.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
So you need to know you have still full autonomy.
Oh, 100%. But I choose to do this because.
And you've really thought about the consequences for it. Like, you know.
100,000%. This week has made me. The focus is honed in, yeah? And why I mention grey matter is because there's a person who's been following my site, right? And on the 28th of July, so not that long ago, last week, whenever, I made a video and it's titled something along the lines of, it's days like today when I question myself why I keep making these videos, right? Because I was having a shitty fucking week where it just felt like one thing after another with the dominoes effect kept happening.
Yeah.
Which, as you know, if I'm triggered into something and then a whole bunch of things happen next, I spiral very fast. Thankfully, I live with Merv now, and he's probably like the coolest person ever to live with, except for when he does my head in and I scream at him, and then I make myself feel even worse because he's nearly 73, and I'm like, who yells at an old person? Oh, that's right, Liv does.
He's almost 73.
His birthday is in, fucking it's the 17th, 18th. So I've, listen to this, I've been up here in Queensland for an entire year on the 17th of August.
That's
It's
right.
the 5th of August today.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like a year. It feels...
No, but I found that as I get older, years seem to go fast.
Oh, they just roll it. I've only just found out via an email this morning, or I think it was this morning, that puppy training class, which we started on Sunday.
Oh,
I know, I was like, Happy, you're gonna have to come in here so I can get Nicole to see you. You should see
I
how
know.
big she got, and she's not finished growing. I wanted a big dog.
you got one.
That I reckon there's a chance she could get bigger than Boss.
No.
Yeah, because she just hasn't finished growing, and you should see how much she's already growing. Like, she's more than 10 centimeters higher than she was since we got her,
Where
right?
is she now?
Happy! Merv's going to look for her.
Thanks, Merv.
Because right at the end of the last therapy session, you were like, I have been really good and I haven't asked to see Happy for a whole hour. And I was like, right, we'll fix that this time around. But
That's right.
so,
Now I want it the whole hour.
so you know, the therapy sessions, look, I obviously watched them back.
Yes.
When I started this channel, 2,075 days ago,
Oh my god.
Yep, and that's just that's just YouTube. So I've had my private paid website account that I started a year ago than that. So that's been now nearly 5 years I've been doing it, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I made a video posted like that because of, come on baby, come on, somebody wants to come see you. Come on. Hey look, do you want to see? Do you want to see? Do you want to see? Do you want to see?
Hi, babe.
Baby?
You're so big.
Can you see her properly?
Yes, you're so big now.
Happy?
Oh. Hello. Oh my gosh, you look so good.
I can't see from there, but can you see in the camera?
Yeah.
Massive.
That's it.
Massive, right?
Massive.
Yep. She not finished.
How old is she?
7 months.
Oh.
Her birthday was... So she was born on the 1st of January, which makes it really easy to keep track, you know?
That is true. She's a big dog.
She's strong.
She's a very strong dog, which was proved when she nearly pulled me over on my ass in front of the entire puppy training class on Sunday.
So that's why she's at puppy school.
Yes, well, talking about days and years rolling into each other, it turns out there's a long weekend this weekend, which I did not know about until receiving an email that says, because of the fact that there's a long weekend and half the years are going to be away, we are cancelling it for coming up, which is really frustrating because we've only had 1 day, yeah? It's only just started. And so then they're adding an extra one on at the end. But like I said, didn't know it was a public holiday until I read the email.
4 weeks of school?
6 weeks. Yep.
Oh,
So it's 6 weeks of class with the same group of people. And then there's like these different additional classes you can choose to go to for $5 a class. So I love my dog, but she'll be going to every single flipping class I can get her into because she was really good for the beginning of training, right? We have to have wet food. So like do you know, it turns out I have not been around shit in a long time because we boiled up, well, not we, Merv is in charge of all of that stuff, boiled up chicken breasts to shred them and to have the actual chicken for the treats. Like, I had to leave the house. I was like, the smell, I was like, I can't do it. Because the reason I say that is because I'm the strangest vegetarian ever, because I know what meat tastes like. I remember I didn't stop for all of those reasons. I keep dreaming and having daydreams about KFC. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. And like, I've ordered pizza a few times and there was an accidental piece of meat on my pizza, and you should have seen how fast I flew up off the couch to get the box in the kitchen to to dissect it, to make sure there was no more me. It was clearly just an accident. And I was like, well, I remember how good it tastes, but I clearly can't have anything to do with it. Like, I couldn't be in the house while the chicken was being boiled. It was so bad. So that proves that to me. But yeah, so the last week has been a very fucking weird one. I'll be racking my brain about what parts of it to tell you, because I never feel like there's enough time to tell you anything, and try and get therapy techniques, which I feel like I know, but are fucking harder to put into place. So
what we're gonna do is we're gonna move to you having intermittent therapies without me.
yeah, well, I often think about something you said a long time ago, which I know would work really well. I just don't know what stops me from doing it, which is putting on the camera and talking to the camera like I'm talking to you.
And your people that you have in your world, like you can do it as a live or whatever, they can support you with it.
That's exactly. Well, there's a comment, right? So somebody commented on the video.
They're not licensed professionals, but
No, this comment is so good that it's going to be printed out and put on the fucking wall. As in, this comment that this person wrote, right? And the handle is at Grey Matter, which registered with me yesterday. Oh my God, because I'm always talking about back when my spirituality started and I started learning about things. I used to say the boss could see the grey matter people that we couldn't, like an alternate reality. And this particular follower's name on YouTube is Grey Matter. Anyway, he wrote this comment, right, on this video that I made, and it just confirmed for me everything that I needed to hear, right? Because he basically said something along the lines of, it's not printed out yet, or I'd literally read it to you. He said something along the lines of, he was basically saying to me, most people when they see something or something makes them happy, they just move along. They don't really take the time to say that, right? He's like, but I need you to know, right, that if your videos help even one person, then they are, and he was like, even if your videos help only one person, then they are making a difference. And he was like, I am here to tell you that they are. He goes, so the way he wrote the comment, it reads to me like he's watched a number of, like he's been following my videos, but never said anything. And he was like, I'm stopping and actually taking the time to tell you that you matter, that your videos matter, that they are changing people's lives. Factually, he's a complete stranger. I don't know, even he could be anywhere in the world, this person, right? But he made this comment, and I almost cried reading it, right? Because I was like, that is what I needed. It was so powerful for me that obviously I immediately had to respond, and he responded again. And I said to him, I said, doesn't happen often, but every once in a while someone will write something, as he has, that has moved me so much and helped truly center me when I feel like, because I spent the last week feeling like I am a useless, worthless piece of waste of space, right? And if I'm saying that to you calmly, you can probably imagine how I've said it to my camera, right? Not so calmly.
Process this very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a lot of fucking protesting. Hence, I said to move. All I've heard in my damn head is opposite action from Nicole, but goddamn easier said than done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, but the comment, because I go through these phases where I have a bad week, right? And all I self-doubt, I self-question. I'm like, am I having the complete opposite effect of what I want? because the whole point of these videos is to help people. And I'm like, is me talking about how fucking pissed off I am actually helping people? And then I check back in with myself and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the ones people watch the most. Because the ones where I'm pissed off and I'm angry and I'm being me, ranting, raving lunatic, whatever you want to call it, or crying, or all of like,
So,
you,
and a visual expression of emotion.
you can
Yes.
literally see it, right?
Yes.
And I become like, oh my God, I can't imagine, like, what if people know me, see this, right? I have realized not to give out it to regular people that I meet anymore, since it is very actually a diary, and therefore people in my life are spoken about. And not everybody can handle that, it would seem. But not,
Except being authentic and
when I say they're spoken about, I've always clarified the difference between I don't share another person's story, but if you are in my story, it's my story. You're a character in my story. Yeah? And I'm not saying character as in it's dismissive. I'm saying we're all. The whole point of this is life's a story, is because everything's a story. Me, right now, talking to you, relaying stuff, is a story. Me relaying this therapy session back to that or the next person. You see what I'm saying, right? Anyway, I do. I go through phases and I'm just like, but even when I get to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, I need to shut everything down and just disappear, as soon as I actually have that thought, I can never ever follow through. Ever. Because every inch of me believes that if I was to close everything down, I'd be doing the wrong thing, that I'm doing this for a reason, right? And the comment that Grey Matter, this person wrote, like I said, it's going on the fucking wall for every time I second guess myself, yeah? But it's been a really fucking weird week, all right? I've been trying to figure out how to explain it. I don't know why I do that. So here we go.
let's go.
All right, first things first, I'm going to update you with how it went with Elaine. We're all good, all right? So I spoke to you. I ended up speaking to Ishan, right? And then I spoke to Elaine. So by the time I'd spoken to Elaine, I was like, these two are on my side. Yeah, they both think that you can still be my doctor. What's happening, right? Because it was a whole sort of kerfuffle thing. Because remember, I told you I had the appointment on the 14th, and in the end, we cancelled that one to make a longer one, so that we could fully talk it out. Because she's like, we have to discuss what's going on, right?
Yes.
And I said to her, I don't understand on any level why you'd be concerned about the medical board when ever since COVID, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's been things in place for people to do telehealth and phones and things like that and stuff. So they don't have to always be there, right? So if I'm having a telehealth with you, it makes no real difference if I'm in Queensland or if I'm freaking in Melbourne, right? The difference with the doctor, obviously we've discussed. Physical stuff, I need to deal with it, right? I've spoken to many doctors up here. I can go to them. Like, I had the implant in my arm taken out of my arm because it was expired and because I don't have sex anymore, so I don't need it. But it turns out it obviously has been doing something for me, because holy moly, do I become a version of me on my period now that is just like anything and everything sets me off. And if something happens, which did happen, it is just amplified by 100. Like, you could almost tell it to the time and date when it kicks in, just simply by how badly it's now affecting me mentally. And the only thing that's different in that regard that I can think of is having the implant taken out, because I've had them forever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like, in that instant, I've decided I'm going to get another one, because I'm willing to try anything. These moods are bad, yeah? And I feel for Merv, not gonna lie. Right?
Okay.
Like, they're bad to the point where he knows. He's like, I know it's worse, yeah? But with the long term and detailed stuff, everybody that I've met in person up here is in agreement that Nicole Elaine's the one I need to be with, right?
Yeah.
And as is Sean, everybody. So by the time I spoke to her, we had a really good conversation, with the outcome being she is staying my doctor. Hallelujah.
Good.
My house in Melbourne will be free because I told you one of Juice's friends has been staying in it. He's moving on. And according to the timeline I've been given, he'll be out by the weekend. I don't know when that'll be, but we're going to organise to come down. We're going to drive down, bring the dogs with us because it's not like we're bringing the trailer. Oh, yeah.
It's just a really stop a lot along the way.
Yeah. Well, you remember I drove up with Boss, so you know. But well, it's just easier to bring them with us. You know what I mean? And we're taking my car, not Merv's car. My car's like 1,000% cheaper to run than like his one, and a whole bunch of different variables involved, right? So when we come down, you know, we'll be, because Elaine was like, so you're going to try and see 3 of us in a day? And I was like, no, I don't think that's even possible. And she's like, how are you going to do it? And I was like, I'm going to come down for like a week or so. Like, if I'm coming to Melbourne, I'm coming down. I'm seeing all of you in person, but I'm seeing my sister, my family, my...
Stuff in Melbourne, and then you leave again.
Well, yeah, well, I want to see people who I don't get to see, you know what I mean? But it's you know, like, obviously, and the same thing, I have to work out the dates, but I've been working out the house stuff first. So I have to, that needs to be sorted so that we can literally just, I mean, we can get in the car and drive down any time once the house is ready for us to be there, yeah? It's just I need you 3 to work out dates that'll work with you. I just haven't sent the email yet.
Feeling good about it.
She's 100% awesome.
What was her actual concern about the medical board?
I think it was the simple fact that I couldn't see her in person. That I haven't seen her in person. And...
That's resolvable. Good.
Exactly. I have said to her, look, I fully think this year's just flown by. Like, it just doesn't feel like that to me. But it's happening. Like, we will be down in the next however couple of months to work it all out, right? I'm going to try somehow and tee it in so that we can swing past Brisbane for one of these laser removal sessions, which, if FYI, by the way, it looks exactly the same. You can't tell. Fun fact, when I thought I had worked out what it would cost and I'd worked out over the amount, I was very wrong. Very wrong. In the sense of, and I understand how now, I had worked it out per 6 packets, right, with the 20% discount times enough to make it the 15 or so. So that would cover unlimited, which is how I got the $4,000 mark, thinking it was okay, yeah?
Yes.
It's not how that works, unfortunately, which in hindsight makes sense. So, and we got to Brisbane, right, at 9:20, yeah? In the morning, the appointment was at 11:15. We had nowhere to be and nowhere to go, so we just went, right? And just were like, we'll just sit here. And we were lucky as hell because the person before me and after me cancelled. So it was just us for like over an hour and a half with this woman learning. You've no idea the stuff I learned. It's insane. Anyway, the options were you buy 6 at a time with a 20% off and you just keep going until it's done, or you buy the unlimited pack. I'd already decided that I figured the unlimited one was the way to go because of the colours involved in it, right? And because of the number of people I've spoken to about how long it's going to take, yeah? The difference is, though, when they give you the unlimited price, because of the fact that it's unlimited, it's not worked out with the discount, right? So it was, because they'd given me a price of $380 for just that one per session, right? So $380 by 6 minus 20% is what I was doing times to get it to the overall run. Doesn't work like that. It's $380 for the session, and then they work it out as 15 sessions, right? Because of the color. If it was only black, it would have been 12 sessions, and then that's it. Just everything on top is it's unlimited, right? Because of all the color, they have to work it out as 15 sessions. So even if it's like 25 or 30, you've paid for your 15. But if it works out that it's gone in only 12,
Too bad.
basically, yeah, right? So I'm getting this one. The one on my thumb worked out to be the difference between having it included and not having it included was $180, I think. And I was like, may as well include it. So the one
I remember the one on your thumb. Okay.
just says love yourself.
You getting it removed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing, wasn't done right, but at the time I guess was if it was a massive chunk of change, I said to them, the love yourself one, I'm not here nor there about. If it had have made a huge difference, I would have kept it. But for the 180, I was like, fuck it, just throw it in. Yeah? I don't need them all. I like the tattoos I really like, you know. And I'm sure that you'd be aware that on my back, due to the multiple cover-ups, there's a few little dots and shit that just aren't meant to be there. And I'd already started having them done in Melbourne, which, by the way, screwed me over up here because they won't let you choose an unlimited amount on a tattoo removal if you've already been to another removal person.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
I didn't realize that tattoo removals were such a lengthy process. I knew it was, 4 or 5 sessions. I never knew it was so extensive.
She told me some of them can take up to 3 years to be removed.
Holy.
Yeah, because it starts off 6 weeks apart. Then it moves to like 8, then 12, then 6, and it's this huge process. Massive. So including everything, it
And then some money.
it was way fucking more than what I was expecting, yeah, but I had made the decision, I'm doing it, I can't live with it, I
And you
can't.
started it, and you're happy.
Yeah, I've started, I've been down once, we're going down again, yeah, but
It's good.
yeah, well, I was gonna say to you, Merv was a beautiful, lovely sweetheart, because the difference between maxing me out and it was $6,000 was I'm tapped out, yeah, which is what it was gonna be with the dots included. The total price came to 6,800, right, which is a fuckload of money, which is obviously why I'm not telling people in my real life. Don't want to have to deal with that like my mother, I can just imagine. Anyway, besides the point, I was like gutted because the dots have to.
And you've made a decision, and you've started it, and
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah. So we'll be going down on the train for the next one, which is the 26th of August.
Yes.
But the next one, I'm hoping to figure it out. I've got to talk to Elaine because I know she's away in October at some point. But for the next one, it'd be kind of cool if we can drive down, do whatever we need to do, and then kind of like keep going. Because obviously we'll be having to stop overnight a couple of times, and we'll be looking for pet hotel places. But if we can time it like that, you know what I mean? That would work. But yeah, the money is... Like I said, it's a fuckload more than I wanted. Obviously, it was stupid, dumb, and every other fucking thing out there. But I cannot look at my arm until I'm fucking 100 and hate it. I just can't, right? And it wasn't like I've spent money I don't have. It's not on a credit card. It's not on Tick. It's not on Afterpay. Like, it is paid. It is done. It is gone. And I'm fine. I've got money for my bills and my rent, you know? I'm running out of time. Okay, I've made a decision that I had.
You always hear this with, I've made a decision, and then you get worried about it. You made a decision. Trust yourself.
Yeah,
Trust the
so
decision.
I was sent a bunch of job listings on the platform I use.
Okay.
One of them was for working with a child. Out of all of the jobs that were sent to me, because I never apply for jobs, right? I have a profile that people send me jobs for because of I have so much education and training, right?
Yes.
Anyway, I was sent like 4 jobs or so, right? And one of them was for a child, and for whatever reason in my gut, I knew that was the job I was meant to have, right? And then it was weird because the universe fucks with us in many ways. So there was constant issues with notifications in the app with the other people who'd been sending me stuff. And the one for the child sent me the job was this, and I replied straight away saying, I'm actually really interested. However, I'm going to need to go out and purchase the children's checks and this and everything else because I didn't have it for kids. I only ever work with adults, right? Anyway, she disappeared for over a week, and I was like, okay, cool, that came to nothing. Then I messaged her randomly and was like, are you still looking? And she's like, yes, we're starting interviews this week. Multiple. And I'm thinking, okay, this is different already, yeah? Because normally your client will send something to someone, you'll have a meet and greet, you'll go from there to there. But this person is telling me, that she runs the account for the daughter and that they're having multiple interviews of possible support workers. And I was like, yep, cool. And I decided, without having met them, and it's on me, but I still think, that it was worthy to just get all the checks done, right? So I went and I paid all the money to have all the working with children checks, NDIS screening, the combined bullshit's done, yeah? Which obviously came through and it's all fine, yeah? And anyway, the long and short, so she asked me if I could come on a Saturday morning at 10, and it wouldn't allow me to send it through the platform due to the things I needed. And then for some reason it glitched or whatever it did, and it did allow me. And I have started a free yoga class in Glaston's on Thursday mornings, which is fantastic. And you know me, wouldn't let anybody leave until every one of us had joined a Facebook group so I could make a chat for us. And now we have a yoga morning chat group. So that's one little side note, pretty proud of. Anyway, so I set the thing for 10. I came out of the yoga class and had a notification saying decline messaging, and I was like, oh fuck, what's happened? Yeah. So I went in and I was offered either 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. because somebody else was coming at 10. And I asked a couple of the ladies who I went for coffee with, what do you reckon? I was like, normally I talk for over an hour, and they were like, definitely go for the 9 because you're the one that sets the precedent. Everybody else will have to beat you, yeah? And because they were interviewing multiple people, and the job just sounded perfect for me. It was literally 3 hours, one afternoon per week. That's it. That was it, right? And it was solely, so everything was good. I went with the 9 a.m., yeah? I was more professional, I'm professional anyway, but you should have seen me. I had my CV printed, all my copies of my degrees, certificate, all of it. It was all in a nice little professional thing, yeah? So I get there, so I meet the family, obviously, because it's working with a kid, yeah? You're going to be part of the family. And I'm being asked a billion questions, and one of them was, do you have an experience working with people with autism and ADHD? And I was like, well, I do as adults, but full disclosure, I have ADHD. So I feel like that helps in a way. And then they were like, so do we actually. They found out after the kid did. So they were all fine with that, yeah? And I had said something along the lines of, I only work with one client at a time, right? And I was happy to be flexible and available for emergencies. You know what I mean? Like, should something come up, and because she had another support worker for a particular thing, and I was like, heaven forbid they're sick. You want me to, all of that stuff.
Sick leave, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the interview went amazingly, literally amazingly. Yeah. Everything they asked, they were happy with. Now, the husband said, will you be wanting more hours? Because I was like, I only have one client and it's 3 hours a week. And I was like, no. And I said, look, full disclosure, I was like, I'm on disability, which obviously gives me real live, lived experience in doing this. And with the study and the training I've done, I do this to give back and to help. And we all have our own circumstances, yeah? So
That's right.
all of this was fully discussed in the meet and greet interview. They were completely fine, absolutely, totally okay with all of it, right?
Yeah.
They were talking about horse therapy. I got excited because I owned horses and I did riding for disabled in New Zealand and in Melbourne when I first arrived. And apparently there's horse therapy around the freaking corner from where I live, yeah? And because it was going to take however long for the applicants and the shit to come through, I couldn't officially start working until the paperwork arrived. But in between of that, they had a horse therapy session. And I said, would you like me to come? We can continue to get to know each other. It's around the corner. Obviously, to be unofficial, the mum's there, but just, perfectly fine, happy as hell, everything went. They had the second interview at 10, right? So yeah, we talked about it all. At the very end of my interview, she literally was like, this is amazing. This has been a fantastic interview. Then they had the one at the 10, and then they told me that they had one the following week on Saturday, so a full week, and that we would know, she would get back to me next weekend.
Yeah.
By 11:15 that morning, I'd been texted on my phone number because I remember I gave them my CV and told I had the job, right? We loved you. You're perfect. Everything's fantastic. Can't wait for you to start, right? The details came in on the Monday and it was like, it's all been cleared. You can now start working even before you receive the card. So obviously I immediately let her know. Oh, sorry. We did the horse therapy on the Monday, and then that afternoon it all came in, and I was like, I let her know because I figured she'd want me to start working that week. And she was like, we'll start the official working the following week, right? So that all the funding and everything can be uploaded and sorted out and everything will be done. And once all of that's done, I'll sign the service agreement, because in between, you imagine I've had all this time, so I have written, I've got a stock standard service agreement, right? I imagine it's like most people, we have agreements, contracts, and then they're altered per client, right? And I was over the moon. It was the best service agreement I've ever written. I was so fucking proud of myself, you wouldn't believe, right? And I was,
There's a butt coming in this story.
oh, there's a butt coming, that's for sure. Everything was amazing. It looks like my 2 paperwork's just there. Merv's just gone to get the mail. So everything was fantastic, right? I wasn't having a good week in general because of something fucking Dollar Man has said to Merv about me, right? Because he's acting like I'm a danger to children, and it's...
Don't worry about it.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about it. See, look, my cards have arrived. Thank you. And so I was just not in a great place, right? But I was still excited about my job, yeah? And so, everything went through. It was all hunky-dory. I had a missed call just before 5 p.m. on the Tuesday. And I did not recognize any of it, but there was a message. So I went in and I listened to the message. And then I listened to it again, and then I was like, okay, what the fuck? Went out and said to Merv, can you listen to this with me? Because I've listened to it like 3 times or whatever, and I don't know what the fuck is happening. So we listened to this message, and it's this woman claiming to be a support coordinator for the client, telling me that the job no longer exists effectively because there's no funding. And I'm like, that makes no sense because I have been through this. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, I understand people can say you're paranoid, but as we've explained and we've asserted to in the past, it's not paranoia when you're on the money, right? So I immediately called this lady back because at no point have I been told anything about this, right? As far as I know, which is why I used the fucking platform, I am dealing directly with the client because that's how I like to work. Coordinators are these middlemen people who, in my mind, aren't needed, right? But if I had have known, it would have been a completely different service agreement. Like, anyway, I called back and then the woman's like, yeah, no, so, the jobs, there's no funding and this and that, and it was bullshit, all right? I'm telling you now, I knew I was being lied to, all right? I didn't know why, what was the problem, yeah? And I was like, what has happened? I was like, what has actually happened? I was like, because none of what you were saying makes any actual sense, yeah?
A lot of people do get their funding wrong. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But what's your suspicion? What do you think?
I have my suspicions, right? Because I'm a really fun, nice person, right? When you meet me, like, you meet me, I'm good, right? The kid loved me. The family loved me. I was what every family in that circumstances ultimately needs. Fully available to be on call. I literally wrote in the contract, I will be available on call every day up until 3:30, which is the maximum time to call me, right? But I will even work, like if you were to call me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and be like, something's happened, can you come and do whatever for like this thing? Yeah, I wrote all of that in. The family were happy, keeping in mind that they had already talked about the fact that the funding had come through, that the funding, this was all discussed in the meeting. They talked about knowing that they needed.
Someone has said, don't use this woman. Is that what you think?
1000% is what I think someone has said, but it's fucking with me. So anyway, keeping in mind, I don't know this woman, I know nothing about this woman, never heard of this woman, and she's just having this conversation, telling me shit, and she's using a different name for the client, and it's so fucking weird, right? And nothing felt right about it at all, nothing, yeah? And so I was like, okay, I'm stepping back. I was already in a fucking weird state by this point, and I'm trying to convince myself it's paranoia, yeah? It is what it is. It is what they said. It's all fine. It's paranoia, right? Except for the problem is my intuition is pretty fucking good. So on the Wednesday morning, I thought the only thing that makes sense to me, right, is to call the client who I have the service agreement with, which, keeping in mind, is a legal contract, has been signed, has been accepted, and is technically well within the cancellation policies now. So I have every legal right to be charging for this fee, yeah? And so I think the wisest, sensiblest thing to do is call the person who I've actually been dealing with. Because keeping in mind, this person called me, I don't know a thing about her, right?
Don't know that that's actually.
I don't know. I don't.
The support coordinator of the client.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
To get confirmation that she is who she says she is.
Bingo, right? That's what I figured. The most sensible thing for me to have to do would be to speak to who the person was and be like, I got this strange phone call. I don't understand what's going on, you know? So I tried to call. Wouldn't answer. Now, I already knew from having been in contact with her via messaging over the period of, however many days, that her phone was one of the ones that you could see the read and receipts, right? When I went in to message her that morning on the Wednesday because she wouldn't answer the phone, I immediately saw that she'd changed the settings, right? So that when I sent the message to her, I wouldn't be able to actually see whether she's seen it or read it or not, which up until that day, I could. Immediately, I knew something was up. I said to Merv, the settings are changed.
Yeah.
They've had to manually have been changed for this to happen, right? She's not answering the phone, right? So I write out what I think is a very professional, acceptable message. Merv 100% was like, it is a completely acceptable message to send. Just saying, hey, look, I've got this, I'm not really sure what's going on. The service agreement does state that everything is between us. It would say it was between me and a coordinator if it was supposed to be the case. And I was like, wouldn't mind just having a chat, because at this point, right, I'm still 100% trying to convince myself it's funding, right, that they're not lying to me, because I want to believe this. Yeah. So tell me how it makes any sense. This is why I don't believe any of it, right? If it was a funding thing and not personal whatsoever, right, she would have answered my phone call. All I honestly thought that would have happened, maybe not, sure, but she wouldn't have responded to my message and done what she did next, okay? So all I thought would happen would be, I'm really sorry to hear that the funding hasn't come through. It's been a mistake. But once the funding is sorted, obviously I was hired. It'll be my job. Do you know what I mean? That is a thing that makes sense. Wouldn't you agree? If it's solely a funding thing, why would all of a sudden the coordinator wouldn't answer my phone? She wouldn't respond to my message, at all. And I was like,
always need to answer your calls, like as
No,
coordinators.
I know all of this, but I'm not saying that.
I know, but that's the hard thing. Some family members will struggle to deliver news that are things like, well, we've chosen someone else. Or I feel like a bit of a dill because I've offered you a job that doesn't exist, or whatever. They jump the gun a little bit. It happens.
I appreciate all of that.
A coordinator should, that's different.
Yeah, no shit. But obviously, like I said, I'm choosing to believe it's a funding thing, right? I fully don't actually think it is, right? But I am doing everything in my power to make myself believe that it is just funding, right? So in that sense, obviously, I was like, when the funding comes through, because they had said there was an absolute funding. Keeping in mind, she got me to start a week later so that all of the funding was sorted out and then uploaded to the platform and everything was done. Keeping in mind, she told me all of this had been done. All of it was uploaded. All of it was done before the service agreement. So how is there a disconnect between, I think we had it and it's done? She told me she literally had done it, right? So to me, again, that's something, yeah. Anyway, I was like, well, I'm really, so I sent a message. I was like, I'm really not sure I understand what's going on. But, obviously when you can get one, please keep me in mind or whatever it is. So I sent a message to a coordinator saying, look, I don't understand how this has happened. Yeah. I have gone through this whole process for a week. I've been told already there is funding, but not only is there funding, it's all being dealt with in the background so that I can't even get paid. Right. I was like, I've gone out and purchased the Working with Children's checks, done this, cancelled other possible, the whole thing. And so the coordinator sends me a message which made me unbelievably fucking ropeable, yeah? Put it all back on me, right? Told me that the checks that I had were a minimum requirement, and it's my problem, and that I should not have basically put all my hopes on one client when I know that there is a support coordinator needed before to finalize any of this. And I'm like, and she just put it all back on me. Like, it was a full-on deflect attack message, right? Oh, and then she ensured to make sure that I knew that the NDIS is so confusing. It's no wonder I don't understand, right? Very rude, very condescending, very in my face, right? The next thing I know that's happening, because I've gone in and I'm still legally allowed to charge these people for that shift, right? But I'm thinking, not going to do that because, apparently this is a whatever. And so I didn't delete the agreement immediately, right? Because I just wanted some kind of something from the person I was talking to, yeah? She messages me back and she's like, hi, yeah, lovely to meet you, but and this is a lie, all right? She said, ultimately, it is the support coordinator's decision who is hired. And I was like, that, didn't say it to her, but you and I both know that's absolute, what?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. It is
Absolutely.
absolute bullshit. The support coordinator is definitely not the person who actually is the one that decides who the client is. And so she said in it, right, the coordinator has the ultimate decision on contracts, rates, support workers, everything, which is just a bullshit lie. And tell me this isn't personal. She went into it, cancelled our agreement, and then blocked me. She actually blocked me. How did it go from I'm the best fucking support to I am blocked and I have absolutely no fucking idea what happened in between?
Nothing you did.
The only thing I can think of, because you can imagine I'm like a dog with a bone, I cannot stop.
Maybe the NDI, maybe she has the coordinator and a plan manager.
No, I reckon it's the
misuse or something.
Say that again.
There are instances where, as a child having a support coordinator, it's a rare situation. It usually means that NDIS are cracking down on misuse of funding and misallocation of funds.
Wasn't anything like that. I can tell you that now because
not with you, historically, a number of my clients without any reason or justification have been told mismanagement of funds and then had all their self-management powers stripped and given to a support coordinator. It has happened, and it's...
Oh, I believe that has happened, but I was told very clearly, this is a new package, this is all new to everyone. In the message, I was told by the coordinator that the client had chosen her to deal with the staff, but effectively no one told me. I was blamed for this everything. And all I can think of, in all honesty, is that they've gone and told the coordinator that I'm on a disability pension, therefore able to be on call. And the only thing I can think of is a comment was made at the horse therapy saying ADHD won't get you on disability itself. And I was like, this is true. But the woman and I... We literally both talked about angel numbers. I don't know a single person out here that talks about angel numbers. You
don't need to disclose your personal health matters to anyone.
That's what I mean, and I didn't disclose any of that. And she was absolutely...
If people are going to be discriminatory.
That's what it is. That's 100% what it is.
You don't want to... Anything that would happen...
It'll come on back at me. I'm happy it's not gone through in the end, Nicole.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I truly believe it's a discriminatory thing against that, and that since you can't legally fire someone for disabilities because it's discriminatory, they've used funding as an excuse, and they've blocked me, I would say,
The
to.
only thing that doesn't make sense is a support coordinator should have no issues in saying that they've chosen to go with someone else. They don't have to disclose the reasons.
Well, no,
But
they would have to, because this was a job interview contract confirmed, Nicole. This was in writing, signed, contracted. Like, they fucked this shit up, right? Like, I could have brought in laws. I just don't. Or, do you want to know? I know I'm over time and I'm super sorry, but like, the biggest thing that I've taken away from all of this is how badly it affected me knowing I was lied to. Because I know I was lied to. The reason she's blocked me, that the only reason I can think of, is so that when the ad goes back up again, they're hoping I won't see it. That's got to be it, because I know for a fact that they will have a support worker.
or to limit, your sending of invoices and things like that if you were to be bothered. But I suspect not.
But
I think I'm very grateful that that's not something you're going to pursue.
I've
And
closed everything down. I
and
don't want to be a
think it
support worker.
identifies that it shows you that the type of clients that you typically work with are people that choose you and you choose them directly.
That
And when
is
we
what
get into
happened.
layers, then that's where there's issues. So I think we'll go back to your original business model of you pick your clients.
You're not understanding, Nicole. The business model that I use is exactly what happened. Nothing. What I do was exactly the same. None of my part changed. The actual thing that's going to happen, Nicole, is that I have closed it down. I am not doing it anymore because I cannot switch it off. I am not someone who can. It's like I can't go to work for 3 hours and then come home and then it doesn't exist for me. The fact that it broke me that I was lied to. It broke me knowing that I was fired for something I don't understand, because nothing fucking
I
happened.
think that's a real shame, Olivia, because I think
I'm
that
too scared to be a support worker anymore. I'm too scared.
that you have offered extraordinary values and consideration to people.
They use it against me. They throw it in my face, and I'm terrified that something is going to screw me up legally down the track or something. And you know what? I've just said to Merv, this is showing me 100,000% that I've clearly got a fuckload of work to do on my own emotional regulation. Believe you me, I'm highly aware. But like, I'm too scared now. Because I don't want to be this person who goes out of their way to help people, because the last person I went out of my way to help as a support client threw it back in my face too. It's just happened. It's too fucking much, and I'm terrified that someone's gonna do something like fucking Merv's friend won't let me anywhere near the kids because of the fact that I smoke weed, which is absolute the biggest bullshit lie ever, because the timeline doesn't work. I know you gotta go.
Focus on the emotional regulation stuff but that's the thing. I'm gonna come hammer it. You are, though. You're doing the yoga. You hear my voice in your head. You keep yourself accountable. Use reflection. Consider the skills. Like, just really honestly think about the last week and all the things that you have actually done, so that you've had this conversation with already a resolution and already it being all problem solved out. Like, honestly.
That's true, actually, because I have been really focusing.
Dysregulation happens when things are big and hard and unexpected, and there's pain and loss and a whole bunch, like all that. And then here you are a week later. There wasn't running off to use drugs. There wasn't heaps of alcohol. There wasn't inappropriate anything. There wasn't problematic coping strategies. There was thoughtful consideration about what's best for me and what I need to do for me and my health and me and my well-being, and then a departure from it, an acceptance of it, a problem solve of it, and then here you are. Actually, it's pretty good.
That makes me feel better. It makes me
So-
feel better.
Sorry, it was a shit experience, but I think the best outcome literally overall.
Oh, absolutely. I think now,
In that instance, but for you to be able to embrace that, like you said, I have so much work to do. Well, you're doing it. Life isn't
That's
about
true.
it not happening. Like life
Yeah.
isn't about protecting bad things from happening. It's about when hard things or big things or overwhelming things are happening, how you're able to use the skills in real life to get through that. And you've done it.
I did good. Yay me. Thank you. I'm sorry we ran late.
All right, I gotta go because I do have a lunchtime.
I
flight.
know. All right. I'll talk later. Thank you. Bye.
Be safe, okay, up there. And if I don't speak to you before you're driving, just like it's.
Oh,
really
you'll be
moment.
getting an email as soon as I know the house is empty. We'll be figuring it all out, all right?
Take breaks. I'm also on leave for a little bit of time in October.
So is
we will-
Elaine. So I'll get
we'll
you guys to
figure it
give me
out.
the dates, all right? Awesome. Bye, darling.
Hi,
Bye.
nice to see you. Bye, Merv. Bye, Happy.
Bye.
Bye.
If you made it all the way to the end of that, awesome. Grey matter. Not kidding. Your comments going on the wall. I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to write it, because it was exactly what I needed to see and what I'll continue to use anytime I doubt myself. Though I feel like, based on everything that's been going on and how I feel and where I'm at, the self-doubt is leaving. So thank you. Now all I need to do is figure out how to get the actual courage to hit the live button. I'd still rather live stream through my security cameras than I figure out how to do it to you direct. But we're at over an hour, so I'm going to love you and leave you. So thanks for watching, and talk later. Bye.